Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Happy Sunday to you all. I hope you're having a great weekend. What is going on out there today, ladies and gentlemen? Let's say hello to a few of you. Scott is in the house. How you doing? Let's see. Scott is on his way to replay on there. Okay, hey, be safe out there, Scott. Good to see you, brother. You be safe out there, man. I hear you. Let's see, who else is in the house? Boone is here. Seymour, how you doing? Crazy weather in Texas? Yeah, I hear there's some crazy weather all the way up to the East Coast again. Yep. North of the 52nd is in the house. How you doing? Deanna is here. Salty Dog is in the house. Loam, how you doing? Twinkle Twinkle. Nice to see you. Who's your pioneer? How are you doing? Good to see you. Terrell Wax from Louisiana. Who's your prepping nurse in the house? Ronnie. RM Life, all the way from Florida. How is it down there in Florida? You guys getting a little chilly down there still? I know you got pretty chilly here a couple of weeks back. Sunshine. Let me see. Sharon is in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Lena. Bad Bobber. Sunshine is here. Chicken Shoes. All right. Who is this? Kev Sterone. Let me see. Oh, it's good to see you. It's been a while, huh? All right. Let's see. Okay, 95 in Phoenix. Oh, it's a nice, cool day for you all in Phoenix today, huh? And spring's not even here. All the way from Anchorage. Let's see, who is this all the way from Anchorage? Julie, all the way from Anchorage. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. British Columbia, Canada. Welcome. I always want to say to our brothers and sisters to the north, but to me, it's to the south. All the way from Southwest Michigan. Good to see you as well. Cocoa Beach. Everyone's shouting out their places. Tennessee, Arkansas. Art and Soul is in the house. Good to see you. All the way from North Carolina, home of the 82nd Airborne. That was where I started my Army career. And from New Zealand, some of the best butter in the world. New Jersey, Texas, Mississippi, Washington. Detroit is in the house. Hey, is Detroit starting back up? Are you guys getting life back in your blood with the new car manufacturing going on? At least that's what I've heard. I like to see if it's true. Australia's in the house. Oregon, North Minnesota. Let's see. Linda Bob. Hi, Rudy. When did you start? I just started about 4 minutes ago, Linda. Good to see you. I am a loner. I like that one. I am a loner. Colorado Pack Rat Preppers in the house. I keep missing everyone. Oh, goodness. It's starting to go a little bit quick here. Colorado, San Antonio, Texas. All right. Well, it's good to see you all, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I hope you all have been having a good weekend. It's been a pretty good week. Oh, look at that. FSNBC is in the house. All right. And someone is here from Thailand. Welcome. Nice. We are worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. Well, look, I hope that I am 100% wrong. And, I don't like making my live streams gloom and doom, right? But it's just a quick warning. And, the thing is that most of you already are in the position that I hope that you're in as far as being prepared. But ladies and gentlemen, things are getting a little bit salty out there, right? I don't think that this thing that we've got going on in the Middle East is going to end anytime soon. I really don't. And you remember, I've been telling you this for years, that things are going to escalate and get worse and worse and worse before it gets better. Well, a few years back, someone asked me, AP, when do you think that things are going to be at their worst? And I missed it by about a year. I said between 2024 and 2025. And it seems that this is the beginning of when it starts to get worse. And not because I wanted to, but because it just is what it is. We have a lot of cycles culminating into the next couple of years. We have the financial crash cycle. We have the major war cycle. We have civil unrest cycle. We have weather pattern cycles that are hitting right now. I'm not sure if you've all heard, but in the Middle East, around the Iran area, there is a 250-year-old drought cycle, and they've just started it. So not only are we having problems down there as far as, the crisis that's going on right now goes, but on top of that, there is a drought cycle that's a 250-year cycle that just started here maybe this year. So it's only going to get worse from there. What's going to happen here in the United States, ladies and gentlemen, your standard of living, according to what you earn and according to how much the dollar can buy you, even though the dollar is going up, all right, even though the value of the dollar when measured against other currencies is going up, the value of your dollars here in the United States will continue to go down, right? As long as energy is expensive, just like it's gotten here in the last couple of weeks, every single thing is going to cost more. So if you haven't stocked up on those things that you need, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, I hope I'm 100% wrong. That can of Spam that you can buy today, at Amazon for like $3 a can. You can actually go to Amazon right now and buy, I believe it's a 24 can pack of Spam for it comes out to like $3 and change a can, like $3.10 per can. That's going to cost a lot more here later on this year. Why is that? Well, the input costs for the manufacturers is going to be more. What are input costs? It's the overhead that it costs the manufacturers to get everything they need, to make it, to package it, and then to deploy it out to the public. And then the input costs for the people that deliver the product is going to go up. It's been going up as far as insurance goes, as far as the cost of vehicles go, as far as the cost of labor goes. But now it's going to go up even higher as far as the cost of energy. And it starts at the bottom. It starts at the people that grow the meat, that deliver the meat to the packaging area or processing area, that process it, that package it, that deliver it, and then that put it on the shelves. So those input costs that start at the bottom, they just multiply on their way up. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, but being that we live in a credit-based economy, meaning that almost every business out there, or every big business at least out there, runs on credit. They borrow to make payroll, they borrow to buy food, they borrow to pay their distributors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of those monies that they borrow, they're borrowing that on interest. So in addition to your input costs, you have the cost of interest on top of that. And interest is doing what right now? It's going up. It's like everything is coming together in a nice little package, but not in a good way. Only in a good way for those people that own assets, right? So in addition to getting prepared with those things that you need on an everyday basis, and guess what? those things that you need on an everyday basis, they are assets. To you, they are assets, even if it's a can of corn. Why? Because you own it. It has tangible value. And the more that the dollar is depreciated, the more that these things cost to replace as time goes on, the more valuable that that asset is to you, because you purchased it at a much lower price than what it will be 6 months, 1 year, 5 years from now. So the message is that you have to continue to get prepared. Don't stop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the stock market to me seems like it's rolling over and that it's got a long fall to go. And for those of you that are concerned about like silver and gold and the precious metals and things like that, me personally, I'm not concerned about it because I hold it for the right reasons. I hold it for the long term, as an emergency fund, as something that I can use to preserve my purchasing power for when we switch over to that new paradigm, which, believe it or not, when some people hear that, oh, switch over to a new paradigm, what are you talking about? What are you, a prophet? No, we've switched over to a new paradigm just in the United States in the last 113 years, 4 times, ladies and gentlemen. We have switched over to a new paradigm 4 times. And each of those times, that new paradigm resulted in the definition of the US dollar being redefined to something other than what it was prior to that new paradigm. You all want me to go ahead and go over the paradigms that we've shifted through in the last 113 years or so? I can. But one thing is for sure, that whenever we enter into a new, especially financial paradigm, it is one class of people that never gets hurt, and that is those people that own assets. Even during the Great Depression, I read a story a long time ago during the Great Depression where you had 2 families living next to each other, and one of them didn't have very much food. They had to scrounge for food all the time, and they ate the minimum. And the daughter asked her mother, "Mom, why is it that our neighbors always have food when we don't have much to get by on?" And the mother told her daughter, "Well, because our neighbors saved their money in gold and silver. That's an asset. But had they even saved their money in the form of food and shoes and clothing and maybe something to repair your clothing, you know, like needle, thread, tires, you know, things like that that everyone needs, they would have been just as well off. They just would have had their assets held in a different form than real money." So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the time. Things, I hope to God and I pray that this thing in the Middle East rolls over in a quick way. I just don't see that. If anyone here thinks this is going to be over in a quick way, put it all in caps and give me a reasoning, because I hope that you can convince me that it will roll over in a quick way. I hope that it will be over in a quick manner. You know, from our last live stream that we had, I was all telling you that one of the things that really bothers me, and it should bother everyone, it should bother every American, is seeing those flag draped coffins coming in, you know. And from what I understand, we lost another 6 service members here not too long ago, just a few days back. So the deeper that we get into this, the more that we're going to see that. The only thing that comforts me about what I see now is that at least they're not hiding it. At least those flag draped coffins coming in are not being hidden from view of the people. All right, because we deserve to see that. We deserve to see them so that we can honor them and so that we can see what the real cost is. All right, money is nowhere near the top. All right, our primary cost for doing what we're doing are the lives of our service members and any civilian really that is collateral damage in any situation. But not only that, you know, we have to prepare. And I've been talking about this on videos here and there throughout the week. And YouTube has really taken a disliking to me, and that's okay, right? Because I really wish that more people would see some of the warnings that I've been given. But, you know, sleeper cells, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to believe it or not, if they haven't been activated, then they're working on their own. And we have plenty of them here. And I see a lot of clips. All right. I see a lot of news clips and independent journalist clips where it shows that President Trump saying, yeah, we're watching every single one of them. We know where they all are. Well, so far, there's been what, about 4 or 5 attacks within the United States alone of people that are coming out of hiding and doing bad things, people that got into this country, you know, the wrong way and that were never apprehended. And if they were apprehended, they were let go. These things are going to continue to happen. Unfortunately, things are going to get a lot worse than what they are now. And even if this crisis is over, even if this war is over in the Middle East, they're going to keep getting worse here internally. I don't want to sound nonchalant about this, but it is a cycle, and cycles don't care about causation. All right, causation and correlation, it doesn't have to be for the same reasons that it happened 60, 100, 200 years ago. It's a cycle, and it's a human cycle, and it's going to continue to happen. So continue to get prepared. Continue to make sure that if you're going out there, I talked about this on a video here a few days back, use the buddy system, especially if you're traveling at night, and especially if you're going somewhere where someone can take advantage of you, like if you're going shopping for food, or if you're going to a bank or to an ATM, or even if you're going to a coin shop. Make sure that you know what your surroundings have. Make sure that you keep your head, as you call it, on a swivel, and make sure that you know what's going on around you before you just nonchalantly walk out the door to something that you may not have been expecting. You know, I need to tell you a funny story really quick before we continue. And if any of you have any questions, 20 on Pump 5, how you doing? If you have any questions or comments that you want to share with everyone, go ahead and put them all in caps. All right. But this is a funny story that I just have to tell you, because it's one of those ones that I had to take a picture and make sure that I kept it in for our history, for my family history. So Michael was down here hanging out with me earlier today, and I'm not sure if you all know that YouTube channel, Beard Meets Food. It's about this guy from the UK, from Great Britain. He's got a long beard, and he's a competitive eater. So him and I were on the couch, and we were watching, you know, a few of those videos, you know, watching this guy eat a whole bunch of food, competitive eater. So I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I came back. I took a drink of my drink that I had on my side table. And I'm like, man, everything must have, you know, I had some limeade in there. I'm like, man, I wonder if everything settled to the bottom because it's really salty. So while I was in the bathroom, he grabbed my salt shaker, because I keep a little salt shaker on my side table just for whenever I'm eating my meat. If it needs a little salt, I have it right there. He took my salt shaker while I was in the bathroom, and he put salt all up in my drink. And the reason I figured it out is because when I came back and I was like, Michael, did you put any salt in my drink while I was in the bathroom? And he just looked at me and he didn't say yes or no. He retained the right to the Fifth Amendment, all right, to remain silent. But then I saw the salt shaker next to my cup was open, and there was salt all over the table. So I just thought that that's a pretty funny, a pretty funny story that I'd share with you, because he's a little troublemaker. Hey, Wild Donkey, that's a great question, really, to tell you the truth. And I think I have a good answer for you. At least it's my answer. All right. At least Wild Donkey says, AP, if things get worse, what's the point of living? First of all, even in the United States of America, at least, I can talk about that. All right. In the United States of America, even at our worst, we're still better off than most countries in the world. I believe that. Okay. And as far as what's the point of living, I personally believe, all right, wholeheartedly, that the lives that we live is not our life to take. Just like any other life that exists, is not your life to take. All right. And I understand there is a difference between murder and killing. Those are two completely different things, right? And I believe that no matter how bad things get, that our duty is to do our very best to continue to live, because every single person on this earth has a purpose. We were all put here for a purpose, right? So it's my duty, I believe, that no matter how bad things get and no matter how dim things look to be in the future, that it is my purpose to do everything I can to continue to live in order to be able to fulfill whatever mission it is that God put in me to fulfill while I'm here. Now, when it's time for me to go, then it's time for me to go. But it won't be at my hands, and it will be me fulfilling whatever it is that it was put in me to fulfill while I'm here and on this earth in the physical form. At least, look, that's how I feel. Okay, that's how I feel. All right, let me bring it down a little bit. Jeffrey Lindquist, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Hey, there you go. Jeffrey says, I live paycheck to paycheck, but I buy preps. Slow and steady will always win the race, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. Gina Siska from Maryland, hello. Good to see you. Bear Independent on YouTube. I'm not sure. What about it? Is Bear okay? I've seen his name a couple of times. Is Bear all right from Bear Independent? I haven't visited his channel in a long time. It could be. It could be. I mean, you know, our government has been guilty, found guilty of doing that as well. The one that I can remember that's the most famous in the history books is Operation Northland. All right, and I think that was the name of it, Operation Northland, which thank God never took place. All right, thank goodness. Thank goodness for President Kennedy, because it was one of those things recommended to him by his administration, was that we conduct a false flag operation to make it look like one of our commercial airliners got struck by Cuba, I believe it was at that time, so that we can have a reason why to go to war with them. Yeah, you know, it never is quick. And I just hope that it doesn't escalate any further. I hope that this thing gets over quickly, but I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know. All I can do is hope. I mean, really, that's all we can do is hope, you know. Let's see. I'm going to bring it down some, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where we're at. I'm not even that far behind. Jules, hey, Jules, you know, I'm like torn up between both two, but you know, I understand the frustration that we have so many problems here in the United States. So many problems. It's like, you know, some people get angry at me when I say this, you know, because President Trump is not a king and he shouldn't act like a king because he's not, right? And I'm not saying that he is, but the state in which our country is in right now, the United States I'm talking about, and a lot of other countries, I think their leaders ought to do the same thing. I think that he needs to pass the Insurrection Act in order to be able to jail all of the crooked politicians that we have. Because do you really think that they don't have the dirt on all these politicians? You think they don't have it? They do. They have it. However, that's just me looking in from outside, right? I don't know what other ongoings they're going on in the government right now. I mean, think about it. I've thought about this several times. I'm like, why doesn't he just put these people in jail? He's got the proof. They've got it all, ladies and gentlemen. They've got it all. They can take a satellite and they can distinguish a rolled up piece of paper with a satellite image. They can distinguish a rolled up piece of paper from a golf ball. Okay, they have it all. Everything that I'm saying right now, I'm sure is being recorded in some data system by the NSA or whatever, in that facility that they have in Utah, whatever it is. All right. Everything that you see in your house, if you have a smart TV or if you have a cell phone or if you have a computer like this that has a microphone, everything, they have it. Okay? There is no privacy. What we think is privacy is the illusion of privacy, right? They have this. So if you have the data, if you have the proof, why don't you just use it and put it out in public and say, these people are traitors. They have to go, and just get it over with. And then allow us to have an election that's coming up that is a fair and honest election. And whichever way the cookie crumbles, then that's the way we go with it. But we have to have a fair, honest election, all right? And I mean, I'm pretty sure that it will turn out good. You know, I'm pretty sure it will turn out good for the country, right? And when I say for the country, I mean for we, the people, because we are the country. I'm sure it will turn out well in step with what the founding fathers wanted. But right now we have so many crooked politicians, and not only on one side, on both sides. We have so many crooked politicians that have sold out our country to big companies, to special interests, et cetera, et cetera. They don't care about our country anymore. All they care is about their own survival. So we have all the information. All the information is there. Something just needs to be done that's of a drastic measure that will get our country back in line. And I bet you this, I bet you if something like that happened in the US, it would be a great opportunity for other countries to follow step. Right? Other countries will be like, wow, look at what they did. That's what we need to do in order to get our country back. Because there's a lot of countries, ladies and gentlemen, where freedom used to exist, where freedom no longer exists. Right? Tell me, if you don't live here in the United States and you live in a different country, let me know if your country is as free as it used to be, let's say 20 years ago. Who's this? Hey, Brent, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you, man. What's the story on the soft cap? Oh, this one right here? Oh, that's just my, that's part of my uniform when I was in the Army. That was my my last deployment. I wore that cap on my last deployment. That's all that is. I figured I'd put it up there because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. Hey, Tristan, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Bear is good. Okay, good, good. Okay, good, good. Man, that's good. It kind of worried me. I saw his name a couple of times. I was like, man, I hope that bear is good. Okay, good, good, good. Glad to hear it. Let's see. John Schroeder, how you doing, John? Amen. God is not done with you yet. Okay, yes. Absolutely. That's how I feel. Let's see. Art and Soul, my ion lights ordered February 5th are shipped and arriving Friday. Very excited. Oh, you're going to love the ion lights. You will love them. Those little things are awesome. And I mean, they work, you know, and they're pretty awesome. Yeah, I talked to my rep, or I didn't talk to him. I emailed back to him because he told me that that the back orders were going to come in the first week of March. So he told me that they had just finished mailing out all of the back orders. So they're getting in a brand new inventory here really soon. So he actually told me, don't promote it. Don't promote it until we get our new batch in. I'm like, I never really promoted except for that one video I did. I just think it's a really cool light. So I show it to people, and it's that little light right there. It's just I think it's a great prep to have. You never have to worry about putting batteries in it. You never have to worry about charging it. All you need is a little bit of salt and some water, and you're going to have some light. And it actually gives out a pretty good amount of light. If you're all wondering, if anyone here is wondering what I'm talking about, just go to my YouTube channel and look up Ion Light, and you'll see me review that thing. And that little thing is pretty awesome, I think. Let's see here. And you know, this is a good question as well. KB asks, how much silver do you think each person should hold, AP? Me personally, I think that 1 ounce of silver well, you know what? Let me take that back, okay? It depends on your lifestyle. It depends on how many people in your family. It depends on what you're going to use the silver for. Okay, so let's talk, for example, about a family in Venezuela. And the reason I'm talking about them is because I did a video on this a few years back on how much 1 ounce of silver would last a family of 4 in Venezuela with food. Right now, just the basics, just for them to have the basics, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 1 ounce of silver would provide about 5 days of food for a family in Venezuela. Now, when you're asking how much silver should someone have, it depends. Is it just for so that you can make sure you can eat? Is it so that you can make sure that you can eat and buy gas, etc.? Right? So it depends on what it is that you're going to use it for and what scenario or what likelihood of something like that happening would be. So in Venezuela, back just a few years back, 1 ounce of silver would feed one person for an entire month. Okay. And I would say that here in the United States right now, oh, look at this. Does that look familiar, Brent? I would say that 1 ounce of silver, although this is 2 ounces, I would say that here, 2 ounces of silver, let's see, 180 bucks, would probably feed a person for a whole month, if not more, if you're just eating the basics. So it really depends on what you're using it for. Are you using it for everyday living? Or are you using it just to make sure that you survive and that you can eat? Are you using it to pay for gas, etc.? Right? What I would say is take whatever an ounce of silver can get you today. So for example, let's say that you go to work every day and you plan on continuing to go to work in case something happens to the financial system, etc. You use, let's say, 1 gallon of gas a day. So let's say right now, today, let's say a gallon of gas is $5. So you need $5, right? How much do you spend on food? Let's say that in one day you spend $20 worth of food. So that's 25 bucks. How much is your light bill divided in 30 days? All right. It's $5 a day, let's say. So you do that, decide how much your life costs you on a daily basis. Let's say that on a daily basis, your life costs you, let's say 80 bucks. That means you're going to need an ounce of silver for every day in order for you to continue to live the same standard of living that you're living right now. Okay, so that's the best that I can explain it. However, I do believe that going forward that silver will have value added to it instead of it just keeping up with inflation. North of the 50 seconds asking, has the Ion Light come out with a new product? They have not, because they're so overwhelmed with everyone that wanted the original one that they came out with. However, and I can't talk about it. I'm sorry. I can't talk about it because the product is not out yet. All right. So, but the product that they're coming out with next is pretty darn awesome. I'm very excited. I haven't gotten it yet, but it's still actually in development, but they're almost done with it. It's almost going to production. As soon as it comes out and I get one, I'll do a video right away, as long as it works the way it's intended to work. All right. If it doesn't work the way it's intended to work, I'm not doing a video on it, and I won't promote it. But if I really like it, then I will. Yeah, everyone here, I hear some of you talking about the draft and stuff like that. I mean, we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. You know, that's something that I hope something like that doesn't happen anytime soon. How you doing, Garden Girl? Good to see you. Let's see. Let's bring it down. I'm bringing it down some. Hey, Satoshi, how you doing? War is a racket. Yep, absolutely it is. It is. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of companies that are going to get extremely wealthy off of what's going on right now. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing? Good to see you. Rudy, we have lost freedom of speech. Jacqueline, I think you're either from Canada or the UK, in which case I would agree with both of those. Oh, this is interesting. Tracy says Trump's job is to oversee America's role in Pike's third war, controlled switchover of economy to digital, Great Reset, and Fourth Industrial Revolution. You know what? That's pretty interesting, because if you were to ask me why Trump was selected to his position, I would say that he was put in that position because he was going to be the one that manages the bankruptcy of America. And I believe that. If you take a look at the law that he passed, the Genius Act, and then there's another one after that that follows up on it. Not the Save America Act, which I agree with that law. I hope that they pass it. But there's another one that has to do with digital currencies and such, where it looks like he's taking control of the banks, which in a way is a good thing, to get rid of the Federal Reserve and put the financial system under the Treasury the way it's supposed to be. But ladies and gentlemen, that CBDC is going to come one way or another, whether they call it a CBDC or not. I mean, it's written, number one, all right, but we won't get into that because I know how some people get with that, but it's going to come. Why is that? The reason we are going to have a digital currency like they're transferring over to right now as I speak is because it's the only way, in my opinion, that they can save the Federal Reserve note or the US dollar. The only way that the US dollar can be saved is if we transfer over to a tokenized economy, which will in turn create a digital currency by the banks. All right, we're going to need that in order to save the dollar. And that's just my opinion. All right. Will we still have paper dollars, like physical dollars? Yes, we will still have physical dollars. We will still have credit cards. This electronic or digital currency that's going to be offered is going to be voluntary, right? Right? And I didn't read this anywhere. I'm just telling you what I think. This digital currency that they're going to offer us is going to be voluntary, but they're going to make it very attractive. They're going to give you a lot of benefits. They're going to be like, hey, or also, let me finish this thought first. They're going to say, hey, we're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. You don't have to pay a fee for this or a fee for that. It's going to be so much easier for you to transact with this. It's going to save you money. It's going to save vendors money, and they'll be able to take that off their, off the pricing, and it's going to be so much better. And all of those things will be true. It's going to make life very, very easy for those people that use it. All right. And then they're going to make it very difficult for people that have credit cards, for people that have legacy system forms of payments, credit cards, checks, cash. It's going to become more and more difficult, to where one day you will be like me. That one day, a long time ago, 20, 30 years ago, I remember saying, I will never pay my bills online. I will never do that. I will always use a check. You know how many checks I've written this year, ladies and gentlemen? Because I still have checks. I've written one check this year. And last year, all of last year, I wrote one check. Okay. And now I would say that almost every single one of the transactions that I make in the banking system is digital. Why is that? Because it's so much more convenient. That's why. And that's why probably most people do it. And that's going to be the same thing. One day, cash will be a thing of the past. And then what will happen is when people stop using cash, right, voluntarily, remember, we're going to do this voluntarily, right? A lot of people here may be saying, no, we won't. No, we will not. We will never do that. We will. I'm not talking about you particularly, but we as a population, we will do it voluntarily. And one day, enough people will be off of cash. Enough people will not be using credit cards, where the government's going to say, hey, only 12% of Americans use cash, or only 30% of Americans use cash. Why don't we just get rid of it? It costs so much money to keep that system going, to print the money, to deliver it. It costs so much money. Why don't we just stop doing it? And it's going to save us a lot of money. And people are going to be like, I don't care. And the people that still use it, the people that are still in the know, we're going to scream. We're going to be like, no, we can't do this. As part of our freedoms, no, our fungibility of using cash, they're going to know everything that we're doing. They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. All right. And they're going to end up having us go over to a digital system. And then we're going to have a few years that are going to be extremely rough. I mean, very, very tough. right? And what I'm talking about very tough, I'm talking about loss of freedoms, right? And censorship and things like that. But eventually, all right, this is where the good news comes in. Eventually, after we as a people have suffered enough, eventually things will change for the better. Like I said, we're going to have to still go through winter, all right? But eventually spring will come. See, so it's not all bad news, ladies and gentlemen, right? It's not all bad news. We're going to make it. Okay, bringing it down. North of the 52nd, interested in your predictions for silver this year? Well, I think that by the end of this year, and I could be 100% wrong, all right, do your own research. I think that by the end of this year, silver is going to be at least 150 bucks an ounce, if not more. And if something happens where it's not before 2030, ladies and gentlemen, silver is going to be in the hundreds. Remember why you hold silver if you hold it. Silver can go down to $20 tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned. And do you think I would be upset about that? Oh my goodness. Heck no, I would be so happy. I would be rejoicing. I would be rejoicing. I would be flipping my couch over and shaking it and trying to get every quarter out of there. You see this can of Café Bustelo right here? That little can? I put my spare change in there, okay? And it's why I had to take it off it used to be sitting right here, but it started getting a little too heavy. So I put it up here. I would take my spare change out of there and go buy silver with it if silver went down to 20 bucks, because I know what it is. I know what the value, the real value is. And the more that you have going forward, once we switch over to our new paradigm, the better off that you'll be, right? I don't think it's going to go down to $20, but I think that by the end of this year is going to be, at least 140, 150, if not higher. And if it's not, it's definitely going to go way multiples of 100, 150, right? By the year 2030, 2032 or so, silver is going to be in the hundreds of dollars per ounce, right? Especially with the technology that we're going into. The fourth industrial revolution is all technology based. Silver is pertinent. Unless they come up with some kind of alien stuff that they're holding back that can replace it, it's pertinent. We have to have it. And there's just not enough of it. All right. However, in the short term, again, I was going to say I wish I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter whether I'm right or wrong. But from what I'm looking at in the short term, silver is going to break down. And I'm kind of hoping it does, for the mere fact that, for those of you that know a little bit about trading, you always hear that it has to visit the scene of the crime. And let me tell you what that means. It means that whenever you have a stock or an asset or commodity or whatever it is, whenever you have it break to new all-time highs, right? So let's say that the old all-time highs was right here, right? In silver's case, it was like 49 bucks, right? Let's say 50 bucks, right? Whenever you break above that, you want that price to come back to the scene of the crime, which was right here where it broke out 50. So silver hasn't really retreated back to that 50, 55 level. It doesn't have to be right at 50, but as long as it's in that area, it needs to retest that area, okay? And it hasn't done that. It went all the way up to $121 and it never came back to retest that. And I think that once it comes back down to retest that, the sky's the limit. Right? That's one of the main reasons why I think that silver in the short term, in the short to midterm, is going to come back down to that area. And in a way, I hope it does, because it's going to give people the chance to stack that haven't started stacking. And it's going to give people that want to continue to add to their position a chance to add more to their position. All right? Because when the things happen that is going to make it so that you need your silver, hopefully you'll have more of it than what you need so that you can help your neighbor, because not everyone's going to have it. And you know how people are. They like to buy high and sell low because they get scared, because they don't have a true definition of why it is that they want to buy it anyways, that they want to hold it, except for green maybe, right? So I think that in the short term, I think silver's coming down. Another thing, when you take a look at the technical analysis for silver, I mean, it's creating a bear flag, and that bear flag has been going sideways for a pretty good while now. And the longer that a bear flag pattern goes sideways, meaning this way in a range, the more the likelihood that'll break down. However, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are going to find out this week. We are going to find out what silver is going to do. Is it going to break down or is it going to break up? This week, we're going to find out whether it breaks down to hit that first level of support around $70, $71, or whether it breaks up to hit the upper level of resistance, which is about $92, $93. We're going to find out this week, in the next day or two or three. We'll find out what's going to happen, because silver is culminating into a triangle, into the tip, and it's got to go up or down. Whichever way it goes, and then it confirms, is going to tell us which way it's going to go. Let's see, Saffron Bay. I'm not growing anything this year, Saffron Bay. I live in an apartment now, so I don't really have anywhere to grow anything. And this summer, I am going to be working on a project that I'm going to be bringing you all along, and I'm not going to be here in my apartment all the time. I do not have my chickens. My chickens are all gone. Let's see, bringing it down, bringing it down. There you go. That's a way to get out of the system, is by doing this, ladies and gentlemen. This is a way to get out of the system. The people of the United States and of the world, really, they don't understand how much power this has. All right. They don't understand how much power 1 ounce of silver has. Let me explain. I've talked about this before. If every person in the United States that is employed, that has a job, if every person that has a job bought 1 ounce of physical silver a month, just 1 ounce a month, our financial system would have changed a long time ago, for the better. Okay, it would have changed a long time ago. But I think it's like 98 or 97% of everyone that lives in the US has never owned and don't own 1 ounce of silver. And who knows if they ever even touched silver, a silver coin or a gold coin. So they were never taught this in school. Jacqueline said, thanks to you, Rudy, over the years, I'm doing well with my prepping. I still a lot to get and learn. Even, hey, slow and steady wins the race. I'll never stop saying that, because it's true. Oh, absolutely, Dan. I think eventually the banks will give up credit cards, because tokenization is going to be so much more profitable. Oh my goodness. So much more profitable. And the thing about tokenization is that tokenization, they're going to end up earning less interest. Okay. Right. They'll end up earning less interest. However, well, AP, if they're going to earn less interest than what they do in credit cards, then how are they going to make more money? We're talking about tokenizing everything, all assets. We're talking about tokenizing paintings, tokenizing property, tokenizing land, tokenizing any asset that has tangible value. We're talking about tens and hundreds of trillions of dollars eventually, right? So we're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. So that's going to be a lot more profitable to them, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is something that I thought about. So I'm not taking out of anyone's mouth. It's just something that I'm thinking about, that how are they going to save the dollar? And that's, in my opinion, how they're going to save the dollar. When you have to have $1 per $1 of token, all right, to back up each dollar of token, when you have to have a US dollar or the equivalent of a treasury note to back each equivalent dollar in a tokenized asset, you know how many trillions of dollars of property there is in the US? And that's going to create a really big demand for dollars, a bigger demand than we have now. And guess what the government is going to be able to do? They're going to be able to borrow more money. They're going to be able to create more money out of nowhere, because there's going to be a big demand for dollars. So the US is going to be able to borrow money at a very cheap interest rate, but at the same time, the banks are going to be happy because they're going to be able to make a lot more interest, even though they're charging less interest, if that makes sense. Let's see, bringing it down. That's funny, Helen. I never thought I'd see the day where I agree with save the dollar, right? When the Federal Reserve note is what has caused so many problems that we have today. And I can't really say the Federal Reserve note did, but with what our representatives decided to do with the power of holding the reserve currency of the world, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. God's Blade, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, John. John M. Knox. Yeah, I mean, high energy prices makes everything more expensive, and I think we're already in a recession, but I think that what we're headed into, which is worse than a recession, is stagflation. Stagflation is a combination of a recession and high prices and inflation at the same time. So not only are we going to have a lot of job losses, but everything is going to become a lot more expensive at the same time. That's stagflation. So yeah, things aren't looking too good for the economy. And you know, one of the things that kind of upsets me is when I hear our president saying that our economy is just doing great. Anyone can look around and see that our economy is not doing great. He ought to be, he ought to be upfront with the American people and say, hey, listen, our economy is doing really bad. You know, AI is really taking its toll on our economy, on jobs and stuff like that. And put out all of the reasons why our economy is doing bad. Hey, listen, in the last 7 years or so, the United States printed about 40 to 50% of all of the money that ever existed since the founding of our nation. He just needs to be upfront and honest with the people and tell us that he knows why it is that these things are happening. But then reassure us that we are going to go through some pain. We are going to have to pay for what we've done in the past. All right. What we've done in the past is we've borrowed from the future. You know, we've borrowed $39 trillion from the future. And guess what? That future is here. All right. And it's time to pay the piper. And now all of the pain that we could have gone through in the past, little by little, we could have gone through pain little by little in the past by passing a balanced budget. All right. By not borrowing like we have. It would have taken us a little bit of pain to pass a balanced budget because we would have had to cut from here, cut from there, save money here, not borrow any money. It would have taken us a little bit of pain, but we could have done it a little bit at a time. But instead, we decided to borrow from the future. And we've borrowed enough money from the future to where we can never, ever, ever pay it back. And now, all of that pain that we could have gone through little by little in the last 50, 60 years, now when it comes, it's going to come all at once, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I hope that you've been listening to this ugly old fool for the last 6, 7, 8 years that I've been doing this and staying prepared. I really hope that you have. All the way from Long Island is Laura. How you doing, Laura Montanaro? Laura Montanaro, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Morning Light, how are you? Does having silver coins or something made of silver, like real silver spoons, what form of silver is in make any difference? Silver is a monetary metal and an industrial metal, right? But right here, we're talking about the monetary value of silver. So silver has monetary value no matter what it's in. If it's in a spoon, it's more than likely 0.925 or 92.5% silver, which is called sterling, right? If it's in a quarter like this, a quarter that was minted prior to 1965, so 64 and below, it has 90% silver. But it still has the same monetary value that that silver has in it. It still has it, whether it's in a spoon or whether it's in a coin like this, or whether it's pure silver, 999 or quad nines, all right? So no matter how you have it, it has value. Now, what's the easiest thing to spend, all right? What's the easiest thing to take to a coin shop or to take to a pawn shop to change that silver over to the fiat currency of your respective country, right? Because you can go to any country in the world and you can take silver and exchange it for their fiat currency. And if you can only buy your bread, all right, and eggs in the fiat currency of your respective country, then you need to find a place where you can turn your silver in for that fiat currency, okay? I would say, a lot of people would say that this is the best way to keep silver so that you can change it over for fiat currency, let's say at a coin shop. I would say that pure silver is the best way. You can get 1 gram, you can get 1/10 ounce, you can get 1 ounce of silver coins or bars. But I would say that anything that is 999 or above, 999 or 4 nines, I would say that's the best way to have it. That way, if you need to exchange it for fiat currency, it would be the easiest way to do it. And we've all learned that in the last couple of months with refineries refusing anything under 999 because they're so backed up. So that's what I would say, that having it in that form is the best way. Now, is having this bad? No, I don't think so. I think that those people that have these, that hold on to them, eventually they're going to be very, very happy. Because although this is not really wanted right now, excuse me, and they're offering under spot for this right now because of the refineries. If you all remember, there was a time where the premiums on this was like 100% or 90%. Those days will come again, right? One day the premium on constitutional silver or junk silver will be like it used to be, 90%, 80%, really, really high. And whoever holds on to those, they're going to be very happy when that day comes. Let's see. Amen to that. Amen to that. That's all we can do, right? Aurora Knight, that's all we can do is pray for the safety of this nation and America and other nations as well, because our politicians sure as heck ain't gonna do what's right for this country. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Truman Show. It really is. It's the Truman Show, and it's just the evolution of a nation, right? A nation normally lasts historically around 250 years. So this year is going to be our 250th year anniversary since 1776, right? On the 4th of July. And it's going to be, let me tell you what, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. I hope that there aren't idiots out there protesting and stuff like that against our nation, because it's going to be a great day. We should all celebrate that day. You know what? Not even only Americans should celebrate that day, but do you see the Venezuelans celebrating America? Do you see the Iranians that are hopefully on the threshold of being free, celebrating America? There are so many other countries out there in this world that benefit from America being free and America being what it's supposed to be according to our founding fathers. Now, I know we've strayed over the years. We've strayed because there's politicians out there that will sell their mother for $1. And we all know that. But the one thing that I believe keeps us great, besides we the people, because we are America, the one thing that allows us to stay great as a nation is that we have a constitution that was drafted with the foresight, right? With the foresight that a nation grows, and it should have a constitution that grows with it. So I don't know. We'll see, but it's going to be a very happy day. Very, very good day for America and for the world as well, I believe. You know, people may disagree with me. That's okay. And that's one of the great things about America is that we can disagree with each other. Like right here, we can disagree with each other, but we can still be friends because we're both Americans. We can still support each other, right? Let's see. John says, you're right. Trump should have warned Americans that we will go through some rough times rather than saying, yeah. I mean, just being honest. We need someone who's going to say, this is the truth. This is what's going on. And this is what's going to happen. Brace yourselves. All right. Brace yourselves. That's right. It is up to our communities. Yeah, it really is. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. You know, I'm so undisciplined, ladies and gentlemen. I wish that I could keep to like a date and time to do a live stream the same time but I just don't. I told myself I don't ever want this to turn into a job. I don't ever want this to turn into like a job where I feel forced to do something. You know, I started getting pretty lazy and down on myself here for the last few weeks back, and I was like, you know what? I need to stop feeling sorry for myself. I need to get up. I need to do something that I know I enjoy doing all the time. And that's doing my videos every day. Now, a lot of the times I do like a news video where I cover the news, and I have other videos planned, you know. But I need to do it just so that I can stay connected because, you know, even though sometimes it does feel like a chore, once I'm doing it and I'm actually doing it, you know, editing a video or working on it, I get consumed in it, and I actually do enjoy doing it. So I need to snap out of it and get back on the horse, right? Yes, absolutely. No wars would be great. Let's see. Donald asks, do you have any idea how long it's going to take for the ion lights to get to you? I keep saying talk. I emailed my rep, and he told me that they had been shipped out, that all of the ones on back order have been shipped out. Okay, so you should be getting them pretty soon. All right. Don't worry. You'll be happy that you got some, Donald. You'll be happy. Those things work great. And I hope that they sent out the extra plates too. He actually told me that the demand was so high that anyone that orders any more, they're not receiving the free plates, you know, in addition to the ones that they came with. That was like a promotion from when I did the video. And I guess so many people ordered those things that they ran out in a hurry. So thank you for your support, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking my word on stuff like this. Now, I normally don't review something for you unless I really, really like it, all right? Unless I really like it. We're a little bit over an hour already. What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. Okay, we're bringing it down. North of the 52nd, yes. Alaska, I think like 95% of everything we get, we import. One good thing is that we do have a refinery. Actually, not far from here either, not far from where I live. So we do have a refinery where they can make diesel fuel and where they can make heating oil, which is a very big deal. And we obviously have the oil, right? So that's one good thing. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm so big on prepping up here is, and another good thing about up here is that a lot of people, just because of where we live, a lot of people are already prepared to a certain extent because they've all gone through power outages. They've all gone through no milk and no bread and no eggs and stuff like that at the store for days because maybe a barge down south froze and it was too cold and they couldn't get any deliveries in the waterway, right? So they've all gone through these things over the years. So they've learned to be at least prepared to a minimal extent, enough to last a few days or a couple of weeks. Oh, a lot of buffering going on, huh? Really? Can you give me a number one if you can hear me okay and at least see me halfway decent? Look at this. Colorado, are you messing with me? Mark this day in history. Alaska Prepper is caught up. Okay, I'm getting a 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unless you have anything else you want to share, I close it out. I got a couple of hamburgers that I need to cook for dinner. Number 1. If you have anything else that you want to share, if you have any more, if you have any questions, put it on in caps, and I'll answer them or share them. If not, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Make me a couple of hamburgers. I might make me a small steak too, because 2 hamburgers may not be enough to feed this guy. Pretty much that's all I'm eating anyways. Stormy says that she gave me a half, so I must be buffering. Yeah, it must depend who. Hey, you all want to see how before I leave, put a yes if you want to see me go over the silver and gold market, because it opened a couple hours ago. I don't even know where it's at, but give me a quick yes. Thank you. Thank you, Daisy. He loves everyone. I'm not special, and I know. Thank you. All right, so if I get a yes, I'll go over. If not, okay, yes. Let's do that real quick. You know why? Because I enjoy doing that anyway, so it's not like a chore for me. Let me see if I can get it up really quick. Let's see. For silver. Okay. Let's see. Okay, cool. I got up. Boom. Share screen. Right here. Oh, it looks like silver went up a little bit. Just a second. Where is this? Candles. Hikanashi. Okay. Let's go ahead and add this real quick. All right. Can you all see that? All right, let me see if I can grab this off of here. All right. Okay, hopefully you can all hear me, all right? This thing is not wanting to separate. All right, so you see, this is silver right here, and it looks like it went up a little bit. No, it actually went down a little bit. Where are we at? We're at $81. No, that's futures. Right now, it's showing that we're at $84.48 right now. Okay. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me while I have this screen on, okay? Because it's not wanting to separate for me. So yeah, right now we're at $80.48. And what I'm talking about when I say that if it breaks below like 71 is this resistance area right here. So like below 71, 72, something like that. If it breaks below that, we're gonna be headed down to probably this area right here, which is a 200-day moving average. Okay. If it breaks above this area right here, where is it? If it breaks above like $92, more than likely we're going to be headed to like the $104, something like that in this area, before we go up to higher prices. All right. So that's what silver is looking like right now. And let's take a look at the MACD. And the MACD right now is showing that silver is going to continue to go down a little bit more for a few more days. So we're going to find out this week. We're going to find out this week, ladies and gentlemen, whether silver's going to break away from that or not. All right. So we are going to find out whether we want to or not. I'm kind of excited to see what happens. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is holding pretty steady. Gold right now is right at $5,000 and change, just a little over 5,000. So gold is looking a little bit better. However, if you take a look at this right here is a mini bear flag. This is like a little bear flag. It's a bear flag pattern. It's a bearish pattern. But if gold goes down, it'll probably hit, what's the major area of support right around here? Right around here? Yeah. It'll probably hit about 4,600. If gold breaks like 4,900, if it breaks like this area right here, this is a pretty big support area, 4,900 and change. If it breaks this, it's more than likely going to go down this area right here around the 4,600 handle. If it breaks that, we're looking at 4,000. That's the 200-day moving average. That's what I'm looking at as far as gold and silver goes. But remember that in the long term, in my opinion, gold and silver have only one way to go, and that is to the moon. Okay. By the end of this year, I think I already made my bet. I went to the coin shop, talked to Jerry over there. Every year we make a bet on what the price of silver is going to be and what the price of gold is going to be at the end of the year. I put my price at about $7,000 for 1 ounce of gold, and I put my price at about $170 for 1 ounce of silver. All right. So we'll see. Okay. Let me see. If it hits $100, nobody will be willing to buy it. If you sell, I mean, I could. If I could sell silver at $100 an ounce, I already know I can. So I guess it depends where you are and who you're selling it to. That's why I've said it's always very important to, if you can, if there's like a local coin shop near you, if you can, give them your business if they are a good place to do business with and become friends. That will take care of you. But I haven't seen Jerry and Dick over at Masquerade Coins. I haven't seen them turn anyone down as far as them selling back to them. All right. Let's see. Daisy asks, is having a gas generator better than a battery operated one? Great question. It's so loud and I'm afraid people will get desperate and do something with it. Gas ones are loud. My stance on that, I've said this several times. It obviously depends where you live. Okay. If you live somewhere where you can run a generator, I would say get a gas generator first before you have a battery backup. If you can afford to get both at the same time, beautiful. Get both, right? And I actually did a video a while back. I keep saying that, but I'll go ahead and explain it because it should only take me a quick minute or two. Having a gas generator, in my opinion, is very important because you can establish how much gasoline you're going to put away, right? So you know that if you have gasoline, your gas generator is going to run and provide you power. Now, a lot of people overdo their generators. They'll get a 10,000 kilowatt generator when they can get by with a 2,000 watt hour or watt generator, right? They'll get a 10 kilowatt generator, not 10,000. That's 10 megawatts. But they'll get a 10 kilowatt generator when they can buy with a 2,000 watt generator. So let's say the little Honda generator, I have one of those, is 2,200 watts continuous. That's all I need. I don't need a huge generator. That'll run my boiler. That'll run the refrigerator in my apartment and in my son's house. It'll run everything that we need to run. It'll keep some lights on if I need to run that. All right. If that's all I had, that will keep running it. Right. Now, if you can get a gas generator and then also get a solar generator like the OUPES, That's the best of both worlds, right? Because what you're going to do is you're going to run your solar generator to start off with. And when it gets down to like 20%, you're going to use your gas generator to recharge it. And it's only going to take your gas generator, depending on the size of your solar generator. Like, for example, this solar generator right here, this is not a good example because this is a really old model. But like, let's say my Mega 5, my OUPES Mega 5 is 5,000 watt hour. If I let that get down to 1,000 watt hours, which is about 20%, it would only take 2 hours of my gas generator running to fill it back up. And then I can bring it back down to 20% and fill it back up with only 2 hours of runtime, instead of you running your gas generator 24/7, using up all that gas. So that's the main reason why I say have both if you can. But if you can only have one, I would always go with a gas generator. If you're afraid of the noise, just get one of those that already have a what do you call it? An inverter, that already have an inverter in it, and those are a lot quieter. And you can always put something around it, like put up a 3-wall or a wall. That way the noise won't go in the direction that you don't want it to go. Even a piece of plywood would work in order to misdirect the noise. Okay. But I would always get a gas generator first. Having a solar generator or battery backup, I think is a great thing to have, but secondary to an actual gas generator. Let me see. Jeffrey, are you really starting from scratch with your preps? Not 100%. Not 100%, Jeffrey. Yeah, there you go, Jules. You can soundproof your gas generator. Absolutely. No, I know. I checked on that. AK sub, you must be from here in Fairbanks. No, they do not pay well. I would not go there to sell anything. But you know what? When you think about this, let's see, coin shops are low borrowing offers, try to pay. Yeah, yeah. And it depends on who you're dealing with. Some of them may not have a choice because they need to stay in business. All right. So I have to understand that part of it. When you think about it, like, for example, let's say that I was down and out. I've used up all of my fiat currency. I have nothing else, and I need some cash so that I can go eat, so that I can go buy me some rice at Costco. But Costco doesn't take silver coins. Let's say that I go over to Oxford Mills, and instead of offering me $2 or $3 behind spot, below spot, let's say instead of offering me $78 for this silver coin, they're only offering me $65. Okay, let's take this into consideration. 5 years ago when I got this coin, let's say this was a gift, but let's say 5 years ago when I got this coin, I paid $20 for it. Okay. And at that time, $20 could buy me a 50-pound bag of long grain rice, right? And that's pretty much what it was. About 5 years ago, a 50-pound bag of long grain rice was about $20, $21, something like that, right? So 5 years ago, 1 ounce of silver can buy one 50-pound bag of long grain rice. So let's say I go and I take this ounce of silver and I get $65 for it today because I don't have any other choice, right? It's all I have. Well, this $65 that I can get for this 1 ounce of silver, even though it's below spot, it's $15 below spot. Today, it can get me 2 bags of 50-pound bags of long grain rice. So you still preserve your purchasing power, right? The only thing that you're looking at now with being able to get almost 3 bags with it, because right now at full price, we can get about 3 bags, right? That third bag, ladies and gentlemen, is what I would call added value. There has been added value to you holding your silver for this long, right? But it's still done its job. Even if this thing goes to $100 an ounce and you can only get $80 an ounce for it, you can still get more with it, with that $80 today than what you could with the amount of money it took you to buy that silver 5 years ago. So you can still get a lot more today, even though prices have inflated over the last few years. So if you look at it that way, it makes a lot of sense to hold on to it, right? And use it when you need it. I hope that makes sense. All right, well, we're going to call it good, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I had a great time, like always. I hope that you had a good time chatting back and forth with each other and listening to my rhetoric. Listening to, what is it that I get called all the time? Oh, man, what's the name of that little bird? You know the name of that little bird? Oh, what do you call it? Little chicken, Chicken Little. Instead of being a Chicken Little. All right, so we're going to call it good. Thanks again for joining in. I really, truly appreciate every one of you, all right? I love you all, so God bless you. God bless America. And, hey, be on the lookout for my videos tomorrow. I'm going to be trying to put one out every single day, all right? So if you need something to fall asleep on, just click on the Alaska Prepper, and I'm hoping that I can bring you some information that you can use as actionable intel. So I'm trying not to get on here and bitch about stuff, but trying to talk about stuff that maybe you can look at that can help you get prepared better for the future. So God bless you all again. I'm Alaska Prepper. I am. Just a second. I am out. Bless. Have a great rest of your week.